What's going on, you amazing people? I'm Matt.
And I'm Vanessa.
And today we're going to be talking about Detroit, which stars John Boyega, Will Poulter, Algie Smith, and Jacob Lattimore, and begins with the Detroit police raiding an illegal bar and making dozens of arrests, which then leads to the 1967 Detroit riots. Focus then shifts to the Algiers Motel, where a group of young African-American men and two young white women find themselves at the mercy of three racist Detroit policemen. And to answer your question right away, yes, this is a tough movie to sit through.
Yeah,
it's rough.
It's very rough. It's incredibly well made. Kathryn Bigelow does a really good job setting the mood and setting the tone and disturbing things. But, I mean, she uses broadcasts from the time frame, which really
puts an emphasis
on the reality of this event, or these, there's multiple events, but this whole
ordeal. And you see some of the uneasy moments in the trailers, but there are some scenes in this movie that are incredibly unnerving and incredibly visceral. But to the movie's credit, though, it does do a good job of showing both the good and the bad sides of humanity. This whole movie isn't just one big racist shove in your face.
Yeah.
No, you see a lot of good acts in this movie as well, good people. So it's not all rough and
it's not. It's not. But it kind of focuses more on the racist side of it because of the event that it's showing, and because of what was going on at that time frame in 1967 in Detroit.
Yeah, and you kind of touched on it. This movie does look and feel rather remarkable, and it drops you right into the middle of the turmoil from the very beginning. There is kind of this weird cartoon at the beginning of the movie.
Art depiction.
Yeah, that kind of brings everything up to speed to the events leading up to the Detroit riot. But then, a few minutes into the movie, we're rioting, people are losing their minds, everybody's upset.
It's just...
Yeah, but then that's when, and then the focus shifts to the Algiers Motel, which is the big event in this picture, in Detroit. And right away, John Boyega, fantastic. Plays a security guard who's at the hotel watching these horrible interrogations happen, and he's caught between a rock and a hard place. He doesn't really know what to do, but he's trying to mediate.
Yeah, he's trying to
settle everybody
down to make sure things don't escalate.
And he can only do so much. Algie Smith plays, unfortunately, one of the men who is being interrogated and beaten by these cops, but he is fantastic. The star of the show, though, is Will Poulter, and he is the ringleader of this racist group of cops, and he is just downright terrifying. You hate him.
So scary.
You can't help but hate him.
He is so good at playing his character.
So good at being bad.
You hate him personally.
Yeah, you do.
But the acting is fantastic. Everyone's exceptional. Everyone else is fantastic too. Nobody else really has more time than these other characters. Now, the story that they showed in the movie is engaging, but I feel like it was lacking substance, because it was emotional and it was powerful, which is all gripping, but maybe it was lacking clarity.
Maybe a little bit. And I do want to touch on one key thing here in a second, but I will say before we get to that, Kathryn Bigelow, once again tackling a tough subject. She does a really good job. She's not God.
No.
She does a really good job directing this movie. There is a bit too much shaky camera work in this film, but there are also some really good shots. Yes, getting back to what you were talking about, we are. I know what I'm trying to say. Hold on one second. Yes, we are going to be drifting into spoiler territory because in order to really give a proper review, there is one thing I want to touch on. So, if you want to leave this video, that's fine. I forgive you. However, if you do want to stick around and hear about one key aspect of this film, be warned. So, basically, how this whole ordeal happens at the Algiers Motel. One African American has a starter pistol. You actually see it briefly in the trailer. He takes it, sticks it out the window a few blocks away as the National Guard. His intent is to scare them. He has two friends with him who tell him this is not such a good idea. Not a good idea. He doesn't listen to them. He fires multiple times in the direction of the National Guard. Well, the National Guard, the cops, and everybody have been dealing with snipers since the rioting began. They believe this to be another sniper, so everybody, National Guard, state police, the racist Detroit cops, show up at the Algiers Motel, round everybody up. Now, unfortunately, the man who had the starter pistol, he tries to run, he gets shot, he dies. But everybody else is rounded up and then interrogated, beaten, and then the cops take them off into other rooms and kill them. They don't actually kill them. It's like, fire a shot, you lay here, be quiet, don't make a sound, and then they go out and say, yeah, your buddy's dead. Here's the problem. Nobody tells the cops about the starter pistol.
Nobody talks about the starter pistol. Okay, so we get it. It's not a real gun. It's a toy gun. It starts races. It's just a starter pistol.
Can't do any damage.
However, they have a specific scene before these events where the guy pretends to shoot his friend with the starter pistol. So we already know it sounds like a gun. Yeah. And then the guy's, when he's shooting out the window at the National Guard, his friends in the room are telling him it's not a good idea.
It's not a good idea. It sounds like a gun. The cops, see the flashes. The National Guard see the flashes. They believe it to be a sniper. Now everybody else, they know about the gun. They choose not to say anything. In fact, they tell the cops are like, where's the gun? Who shot the gun? We need to know. And these guys are like, no, there's no gun. Nobody here has a gun. Don't know what you're talking about. To me, that's a problem. It's a problem with the story writing, because once you start thinking that your friends are being killed by these cops, and not to mention you're being beaten. I mean, these guys have cuts, bruises.
All of them.
I feel like somebody would say something.
And I agree. Even just say, yeah, it's fake. It's not a real gun.
It's not a real gun.
And just throw that in there. Maybe they don't believe you. That's fine. That's fine for the story if they don't believe, because they're racist cops. They're going to do what they want to do. But for the story purpose, I wish they could bring up the starter pistol.
To me, it's just not realistic. I feel like somebody would have said something. Even if the cops, like you said, don't believe them, it's never mentioned. In fact, the whole, there's no gun here, nobody, not really buying it. But to me, that it's a big problem, but it doesn't deter from the rest of the movie. No. The rest of the movie is solid, and it is important, and I do think people should see it. I'm giving it a B-, and it is mostly based off of that one part.
That one part.
Yeah.
I'm giving it a B. I think that this kind of it depicts the realism, the realistic events that happen here. Just the hatred and the radical police in that time frame, and then how an event like this can really affect somebody, affect the victim into changing maybe their mindset when they really didn't have a problem before, now they do. So I feel like that's kind of important to touch on, and so that's why I'm giving it a B.
Yeah, and I do recommend it. I think it is worth seeing. For me personally, this is probably a movie I watched this one time. I don't know.
It's not easy to watch.
It's not easy to watch.
One of those I want to watch.
Yeah, go back and rewatch it. Yeah, but it is worth checking out. And now, just to briefly, 1 second, just get a little gushy, a little sentimental. We always end our videos with, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. And after watching this kind of movie, I just want to reiterate that to us, it's something we say. It's kind of catchy, but it's also important. And I like watching YouTube videos a bunch of the next person, and I like getting on social media. However, it seems now more than ever before, you see a lot of discrimination, racism, prejudice, hate being passed around. And I just want to say that, I know I'm kind of beating a dead horse. It's not okay. It's not right. So, I don't know. Just fight the good fight, and seriously, do take care of yourselves and take care of each other. It is important. We are all one. Yeah. We're all one human race. None of us are just going to go off and leave. It's not going to happen.
We're here.
So, use love, not hate, all that kind of stuff. And that's my gushy little side note. Anyways, if you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to see more of our awesome movie reviews, hit the subscribe button. And once again, as always, please do take care of yourselves, do take care of each other, and we will see you guys next time.